When we are living at our everyday level of consciousness, it is not uncommon for us to normalize helping people suffer in comfort instead of waking them up. Many of us have learned to accept this paradigm and simply focus on being comfortable, regardless of our spiritual suffering. However, there are those who possess the knowledge and tools to open the doors to perception in the mansion of life. American writer Carlos Castaneda once spoke of his teacher who was a Nahua, which translates to all that is knowable. His teacher told him that life is like being born into a mansion with 1,000 rooms, but we are only aware of the room we are born into. This room is the everyday, ordinary consciousness. The only way to enter the room is through the cycle of birth, and we have been programmed to believe that the only way to exit is through the cycle of death. So, we spend our lives in this one room, unaware of how to access the other 999 rooms unless we die. We wait for the inevitable to happen so that we can escape this room. Carlos Castaneda's teacher said to him that to access the other 999 rooms and eventually leave the house altogether without dying, one must learn to let go of their limitations and beliefs handed down by others. It is possible for a seeker to remove the earthly shackles that have bound him to a prison of limitation. This process involves rewriting our agreement with reality and creating a new contract with what we perceive to be possible. It requires shifting out of our current beliefs and stepping into a new understanding of ourselves and the world around us. There is always a level of uncertainty when it comes to beliefs that are passed down to us from external sources. While this doubt isn't necessarily seen as a negative thing, it can also prevent us from reaching higher levels of understanding. This is because our thoughts have the power to shape our reality. So if our thoughts incessantly focus on doubt, we will only continue to reinforce that doubt. As William Blake famously stated, if the sun and moon should ever doubt, they'd immediately go out. So, how can we move past these inherited beliefs while still respecting and being grateful for the teachings of others? The key is to let go of our preconceived ideas and our everyday consciousness and shift to a state of knowing. Knowing is different from simply believing something to be true. When we have made conscious contact with something, it comes with a deep sense of knowing. This means that no one can impart their experience of something without us experiencing it for ourselves. Belief comes with a passive acceptance of second-hand knowledge. Knowing comes with direct experience. A simple analogy to this can be found in everyday life. No one can tell us how to ride a bicycle or show us a video of someone riding a bike and expect us to become an expert. We must get on a bicycle and try it for ourselves to truly know how to ride a bike. There will be times when we will fall off the bike and scrape our knees, but eventually we will gain our balance to have a smooth ride. This is knowing, and it is something that we will never lose, just like with other skills we learn through conscious contact. Many spiritual mystics have spoken widely about knowing. Terence McKenna called this the felt presence of direct experience. Indian guru Osho emphasized this when he asked people not to believe in God, but to know God. There is a significant distinction between having knowledge of a divine presence or a sacred awareness of God and knowing God. It is similar to the difference between being aware of the potential for healing oneself from an illness because you heard or read about it and experiencing it. Conscious contact is the way to knowing, and this knowing is the key to opening the prison doors that have kept you from the truth. Wayne Dyer has given the world a wonderful story through which he explained how we hold the key to higher states of consciousness. He narrated the story of the 4 philanthropists who went to a village where the invaders had pillaged the dwellings and taken the men as prisoners in a war camp. The first philanthropist realized that the prisoners did not have clean water and wished to donate his money to provide the village men with clean water to drink so that they don't fall sick. When he was granted that request, the philanthropist felt like he had fulfilled his destiny. The second philanthropist saw that the men were sleeping on cold, hard rocks at night without blankets and desired to provide adequate bedding for the people so that they don't die of the cold. When he donated his money to this cause, he felt that he had fulfilled his life goals. The third philanthropist discovered that the men did not get enough nutritious food. He felt that he had done God's work when he was allowed to feed all the men with fresh produce from his farm. But the fourth philanthropist was detached from the everyday, ordinary consciousness, and his awareness was at a higher level of consciousness. He found where the keys to the prison doors were kept, and at night he went to the prison and released all the prisoners. We are all prisoners of this third-dimensional construct of limited consciousness, but it doesn't mean that we do not have access to higher powers. We only have to make conscious contact with the higher levels of consciousness. Once we do that, we will come to a knowing of what is, and with that knowing will come the revelation of the truth as a key to help us escape the prison of our reality.